Hey folks, going to be doing another unboxing here. This time is the essentially the unboxing for my ARCS Kickstarter. Um, this just came in the other day, and I was able to get it opened up. I have um, put everything together, sorted everything into this expansion box, so everything will fit into this expansion box. Um, I I have not tried to fit the miniatures pack in here, so the quote unquote miniatures that come with the standard version of the game are basically wooden meeples, um, and then you can get a plastic miniatures pack that is washed. We'll look at that here in a little bit. Um, but the pieces are significantly larger than the wooden pieces, so they might fit in here. I have not attempted it. I haven't even looked on Board Game Geek to see if somebody else has and has a better method. But the base box, as well as there's like a leaders expansion that's just a card pack. That both the base box fits in here with the Blighted Reach expansion and that leaders little. I'm going to call it a mini expansion because it was just literally just a deck of cards. Um, this expansion, the Blighted Reach, essentially turns this into a campaign game that I think plays over 3 games total. But it seems that there are different modules for each game that get introduced as you play through the game. This is from Leader Games. The art is very similar to Root, so it has that same art style. It is 2 to 4. It is a sort of a 4X space themed game, which has I'm sure it's been done before, but I'm going to call it unique. A trick taking mechanic. So like when you're on your turn, you're going to be playing cards, and like there's a deck of cards. There's a number of suits, a number of ranked cards through that suit, and you have to play higher than what the previous person. You have to follow suit if you can, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, you don't have to. You would want to follow suit because if you do, you get to take more actions. But you don't have to follow suit. But you do have to play a card in higher value than what the previous person played. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get to unboxing this. Like I said, I've already opened this up and sorted everything so you guys can kind of see how everything goes together. They do give a good explanation in the rule book for the expansion on how to store everything. So this is basically how I've put it together. I have all my reference sheets over here. So you get 4 normal reference sheets here in the base game, and it's a piece of paper folded in half, basically. Plenty of information on there. And then these are the reference sheets that come with the campaign expansion. So it goes over the rules for the Empire, how to set up Acts 2 and 3, etc. Then we have the the base game expansion rulebook. It is 24 pages. It is glossy paper, no linen finish. I have read through this already online in a PDF, so it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy to understand. Lots of examples. Yeah, I didn't really have any problems with any of this. So that's the rule book. Then we have 2 trays, counter trays, I'm going to call them. They have basically these numberings reference the board. So when you were to put up the board in between campaign games, in map square 1G, you put all the components that are there in this well right here, and so forth and so on. And this is for kind of stores your game state. So there's 2 of those. Then we have the expansion for the Blighted Reach, the rulebook for the Blighted Reach, which is this expansion, 32 pages. Tells you at the beginning here, stop, shows you how to set everything up, because there is going to be some sorting and setup that you have to do before you can start playing. Gives you all the components. You're going to see this rules booklet down here. This is inside one of the wells, and it is black, so it hides very well in there. So don't think that you don't have the rules booklet. It is in one of the trays. And then in the back, on page 30, it tells you, one, how to pack up in between your campaign games and your acts, etc. And then it tells you how to organize the box in terms of incorporating the base game and everything else from this game. So, seems pretty well. I have not really read through this one yet. I just read through the base game. Then we have the flagship boards. These come with the expansion. Go over the flagship setup. These are not in the base game. They do recommend that you play at least one normal base game before starting the campaign. These are the player boards that you're going to have in front of you from the base game. They tell you all your different resources, what you can use them for, places to store trophies, captives, your materials, and ships, or not ships, but buildings and star bases and such. This game only plays 4. Then over here we have, in here I'm storing these 2 tokens from the expansion. I have all of I believe these are the leader cards. And this includes the deck of leader cards from that mini expansion. I have the campaign log booklet, which has a ton of sheets. And then on the other side of that campaign booklet, I have these, I can't remember if they were called roll cards. I forget what these are called, but that's where all of these are. Or titles or roles, something of that nature. And those all go in here. I do have a couple of this silica packets in there just for good measure. Then we have the player wells. I'm not sure if this is how these pieces are supposed to go in here, but this is how I did it. You're supposed to eventually put your cards and stuff up here, and then probably you're just going to have to split your pieces between the 2 wells as best you can. But there's a well, or there's a tray, not a well, for each player. So there's 4 trays. Then we have the base game tray, and this is going to have your dice. This is going to have your different materials, tokens here, and then the achievement / victory point. Is it called achievement? I think it might be called achievements. Those tokens up here, first player marker, etc., etc., etc. up here. Your space lanes in case you're playing with less than 4 players, so you can skip a sector. But this is the base game tray, and this is how they recommend you set it up. Then we have the expansion tray. And this is the campaign tray rather. This is going to hold all of your campaign components. So you've got your free industries, your free star bases. These are the blight tokens, and then you have these generic ships here, or they might be the Empire ships. You do have to split them between this well and this, this well and this well. And then right here is that rule card booklet that is conveniently the same color as the tray, and it took me a little while to find it. So we'll get all those back in there. And then right here we have the map. I'll fold it out here in a minute. In here, this is all the campaign stuff. So you're going to have these dividers, and you're going to put the cards behind the various cards behind these dividers. There are 24 modules, so to speak, in here in divisions. Some modules have all modules have cards. Some modules also contain a bag of tokens that you will pull out as you open that module up and start or incorporate it into the game. They're not called modules; they're called fates. Fate. So you do have to punch all those dividers out, and then you do all these cards were in 4 or 5 bricks, and you do have to sort them out. Put them where they go. Each Let's look at one here. Let's see. Let's go look at number 9 here. You can see got the number up here. Tells you how many tokens. There were 13 tokens, and then there's 11 cards. So it kind of tells you what you need to, how many cards are going to be behind it, and the tokens, the punch boards will have the number. So like that was Fate number 9. You can go to a punch board, and like there would be a section for the number 9 tokens, and so it's clearly marked, easy to get set up. But that is all of the campaign module stuff. So let's set this aside. Fold this map out real quick. So here's the map. There's planets, there's places for the buildings or the industries and the starports. Victory point tracker down the bottom. Ambitions, that's what those are called. Ambitions. Well, those are those 3 markers from the base game. Slash and achievements, they're sort of what you're striving for, what you think you're going to get. The first person to sort of, you can, the first person to claim, or not claim, but make an ambition, I guess. If they succeed at that ambition, they get more points than somebody who would go for the second, claim, not claim, but make a second, an ambition second after the first person. And these are the different ambitions that you can go for. So you might say, I'm going to be a tyrant this game or this round. So I'm going to have the most captives at the end of the round, or the end of the act. And if I meet that, and I was the first one to claim an ambition, I would get 5 points or 7 points or whatever it is. But this is the map. Chapters it can go up to 5 chapters. But there is a end condition. Let me look real quick. Playing a chapter. Probably be at the end. Score ambitions. End game. Yeah, the game ends if any player has at least 27 power with 4 players, 30 power with 3 players, or 33 power with 2 players. That's these. Oh, it tells you down here. On the score track here. So this is, let me get all this folded up. We'll get this all back together, and then I'll show you the miniatures. So that goes in there. And we split these 2 side by side. Then we have one rule book that goes there. And we have these 2 that go side by side. Then we have another rule book and the player aids. And we put the lid back on here. So again, everything from the base game and the campaign expansion and the little mini card expansion will fit in this box. Possibly even the miniature pack, but like I said, I have not tried it. Nice thing about this miniature pack is they are they have like a wash over them that's just black. A black wash or a dark wash. You can kind of see that wash on there. Those are the ships. All the ships look the same, they're just different colors. And then we have these are the flag ships, I think. So it does come, the miniatures pack does come with stuff for the expansion. The campaign expansion, which introduces that stuff. These are the starports, I think, maybe, or maybe some other form of ships. And then we have the purple Empire ships. They do have a wash on them as well, but it is a lot lighter than these. Maybe it's just because this is a darker color. It's easy. It's more difficult to see, but that's that. So I don't think this will all fit in those trays, but I might try it. I might look on Board Game Geek and see if somebody else has tried or what they recommend. But this is Arcs, both the base game, the Blighted Reach expansion, the Leaders expansion, and the Miniatures pack. Thanks for watching.